Welcome to Math with Fred. Today I'll be teaching you how to solve simultaneous equations involving fraction. Watch and have fun. Okay, consider the question we have that you solve for x and y respectively. Now you have 2x to the power of negative 1 minus 3y to the power of negative 1 is equal to 4. That is equation 1. Then we have 4x to the power of negative 1 plus y to the power of negative 1 is equal to 1. Now the first thing you need to do is to work on this negative index. You can see that these equations are having negative index. Now recall that a to the power of negative 1 is equal to 1 over a. This is from indices. So I'm going to use this to make this easier for us. So that means we're going to have 2 dots 1 over x. Please, this dot stands for multiplication. Minus 3 dots 1 over y, which is equal to 4. Now I did this from the recall of indices. Okay, now the same thing that is applicable here. We're going to have 4 dots 1 over x plus 1 over y, because y has no other coefficients, which is equal to what? 1. Now, having gotten to this point, you just need to multiply where necessary. Then you're going to have 2x. 2 times 1 is 2 over x. We're going to have 2x, 2 over x, minus here you have 3 times 1 is 3 over y, which is equal to 4. Now you come to the next equation. You're going to have it as 4 over x, because 4 times 1 is 4, over x plus 1 over y, which is equal to 1. Now you can see that you have changed this from the negative index to fractions. Then now the next thing you want to do is you're going to rename these variables, because you can see that the denominator of the fractions are unknown variables. Now to make it easier for you, once you have it like this, what you need to do is just rename it. Now, in me trying to rename it, I'm going to have that let p be equal to 1 over x and q equal to 1 over y. That means any place I see 1 over x, I'm going to call it p, because if I remember that 2 over x is same thing as having 2 dots 1 over x. So that means I can write this to be 2p. This is 2 over x is same thing as having 2 dots 1 over x, because this is 2 times 1 over x. When you separate this, you come here. So just like this is my 1 over x now, which I'm now calling p, and this is my 1 over y, which I'm now calling q. So I want to do this because it's going to be very easy for us now to solve. So I'm having 2p minus 3y is equal to 4. That is my equation 1. Then the next one is going to be 4p plus q is equal to 1. Now you can see that your fractions has been resolved to a whole value. At this point, you can now solve with any method of simultaneous equation you know very well. Now I'm going to solve this using method of elimination. Let me split the board and finish up. So 2p minus 3y is equal to 4. 4p plus q is equal to 1 is equation 1 and 2 respectively. Now, before you eliminate, you should first of all check the one you want to eliminate. They should have the same coefficients. Now you can see that in the two variables, both p and q. Oh, sorry, I think I made a mistake here. This is 3q. In the two variables, both p and q, none of them have the same coefficient. The coefficient of p here is 2, while the coefficient of p here is 4. The coefficient of q here is 3, and the coefficient of q here is 1. So making it to have the same coefficients, you can pick any of them. Let's say I want to make p to have the same coefficient. Now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use the variable, the coefficient of p in equation 1 and multiply my equation 2. Then I'll use the coefficient of p in equation 2 and multiply equation 1. So I'm going to have it like this. Times 2 times 4. Remember, I used the coefficient of p in equation 1 to multiply my equation 2. I also use the coefficient of p in equation 2 to multiply equation 1. So when I do my multiplication, I'm going to now have 4 times 2p is going to give us 8p minus 4 times 3q is going to give us 12q, which is equal to 4 times 4 is going to be 16. Now I go to the next equation. 2 times 4p is 8p plus 2 times q is equal to 2q. Then in the right hand side you have 2 times 1, which is 2. At this point you can see that the one I want to eliminate, which is p, they have the same coefficients. Now the next thing you check is, since they have the same coefficient, you now check for the signs. If they have the same sign, you do subtraction. If they have different signs, we do addition. Now I want to eliminate p. Since they have the same sign, positive, positive, I'm going to do subtraction. Minus, that means my operation now is going to be subtraction. So 8p minus 8p, it has been eliminated. Now I come over here. Minus times plus is minus. Minus 12q minus 2q is going to give me minus 14q, which is equal to 16 minus 2 is going to give me 14. Now to get the value of my q, I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient of q, which is negative 14. Divide by negative 14, divided by negative 14, minus 14 divide minus 14. I'm going to have, therefore, q is equal to 14 divided by minus 14 will give me minus 1. Now I can easily put my q into any equation and get the remaining variable, which is my p. So you want to substitute your q, which is negative 1, in any of the equations here. You can pick any of them here. Now I want to put q is negative 1 in equation 1. So I'm going to have it as 2p minus 3. It should be 3q, but since q is negative 1, I'm going to have 3 bracket negative 1, which is equal to 4. Okay. Now I'm going to have 2p minus, okay, minus times minus is plus. 3 times 1 is 3, which is equal to 4. Now we collect like terms here. We're going to have 2p is equal to 4 minus 3, because positive 3 moving to the right hand side becomes negative 3. Now we have 2p is equal to 1. Now of which that p is going to be, when you divide both sides by the coefficient of p, which is 2, we divide it by 2 and divide it by 2. You see that 2 will cancel 2 here, remaining that p is going to be 1 over 2. Okay, now we have gotten the values of p and q respectively. Remember that I said, when we began, we said that let p is equal to 1 over x and q equal to 1 over y. So I want to get the value of, because the question said we should find the value of x and y respectively. So let me start from p. So p is 1 over x, so I have that 1 over x is equal to 1 over 2. Because I said let p be equal to 1 over x, so this is my p, which is 1 over x, and it is equal to what? 1 over 2. Now I'm going to cross multiply here. X times 1 is x, is equal to 2 times 1 is 2. That means that my x is equal to 2. Okay, now I go for q. Let me continue from this part of the board. Okay, now I go for q. Remember that I have my record here that q is equal to 1 over y. So, but what I got my q to be here is negative 1. So I have it that negative 1 is equal to 1 over y. You just put over 1 here. When you cross multiply, y times negative 1 will give us negative y, which is equal to 1 times 1 is 1. Now you can see that my y has a negative value. You can just simply divide both sides by negative 1. Because this negative y simply means that the coefficient of y there is negative 1. So that is why we divide both sides by negative 1. So minus divide minus is plus. Now y is going to be Plus divide minus is minus. 1 divided by 1 is 1. Therefore, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 1. Alright, thank you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Bye-bye.